So my name is Abigail Stevens. I'm the founder and managing director of Think Global Recruitment. I've actually got almost 30 years international recruitment experience now, helping accountants move all over the globe. And I'm passionate about assisting accountants to move across the globe. What we're going to cover today is we're going to talk about the visa process. We're going to talk about time frames, how long it takes to do the process. We're going to talk about salaries, cost of living, and you're going to hear about lots of different opportunities across Europe. So it's all about Europe today, and very exciting. Um, Think Global Recruitment is all about improving lives. That's our purpose, and we all love it. Many of us have lived and worked and moved internationally. I myself used to live in Australia, and I travel the world consistently. I've been to over 50 different countries, and I feel that it's a fantastic opportunity for accountants to make that move. This presentation is here for us to give something back to you because if we want you to be knowledgeable in the process of making such a big thing, a big move overseas, which it can be exciting because you're going to get more challenging work experience. You might be doing it to meet new people. You'll meet people that come from all over the world, experience different cultures, make friends for life that might also move to other locations or go home later on. So you're building a network across the globe. You might do it for better weather. You might do it for the opportunity to travel. Europe, what we're talking about today, is fantastic for that. An international move can give you so much more than just work experience, and it can give you a lot of confidence and make you a more confident individual. So we have assisted over 2,000 professionals to move to over 63 different countries. And that's increasing by the day. And you can see the type of businesses that we work with. So we're going to talk about a few of the logistics. First of all, we're going to talk about salaries. People always ask us about what the salary is going to be. And today we're going to give you some indication prices. We can't talk about every salary for every job, every level. So what we're going to do is we're mainly going to talk about an audit senior type salary. And you can equate yourself to what that salary would be compared with where you are in the local market. It's usually the same differentials. And we're going to talk about the cost of living, on the in some of the locations as well. So you can get some comparables. But one thing we'd say is that if a company normally recruits internationally, they will always pay a fair salary. There's no point in them underpaying you because when you join, you're just going to leave. And then you're going to go off to a competitor, and all that money they invested and time invested in getting you over to their location is being wasted. We always provide you, when we take you through the interview process, with details of what the salary will be and also the cost of living. And if you think about it, the most important things to look at is how much is my accommodation going to cost and what's the tax? Because they're the two biggest things that come off any salary. So we always look out for those things. And when you're investigating a location or thinking about it, have a look at those and you can see what's left in your pocket. But typically, you're going to get a fair salary. Accountants have worked hard to get to where you are, especially the qualified accountants. So it takes a long time to get there. So people pay you the salary that's going to be able to give you the lifestyle that you want. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about what firms are looking for in talent, and we can do a lot more of that in Q&As as well at the end. Please feel free to put your Q&As into the Q&A section. We will have that at the end, and they will build up during the presentation, I'm sure. We'll answer them then. But they're typically looking for somebody that has got around 3 years plus experience on the CV. When you're looking at an international move, they don't want to recruit people who don't have experience because they can find that on the local market. And it is all about supply and demand. So if you can find what you've got on the local market, they're not going to look as much internationally for you. Professional qualifications are usually a must because of you need that to get the visas in most locations. There are some exceptions, but really on the whole, that is usually a must. And then somebody that shows that they've got cultural adaptability and they're able to make a move and settle in and meet other people and flex to the culture of the business is going to be really appreciated. Okay. How does the visa process works? Well, employers will sponsor you. So they will help guide you through that process to get a visa in 99% of the locations that you go to. They will, in most locations, pay for part of or all of the process. It does vary. And again, we will advise you as we go through, which, when we meet with you on a one-to-one basis, we can give you advice on this and what to expect on the visa assistance. But they get those visas for you, and then you get to start your job and live and work in the country. Visas for spouses don't always naturally come. So again, that's important to bring up if you've got partners and family when you're talking to us, and we can advise you how that will work for them. But look at the timelines. Well, when you meet with us on the first day, we are going to start immediately looking at opportunities for you. We will ask you to do a little bit of homework, maybe on some locations you hadn't considered and cost of living, etc. But we'll also maybe get you, and we'll also ask you to record a video introduction for companies, which will really make you stand out above other people. Once we have all of that, that's it. We're on the path for you. We're going to work really hard. We're going to spend the next 2-3 weeks trying to get you interviews. We'll go out there and tailor applications. We know what companies are looking for, so we make sure that they look right. And then we follow up. We speak to the companies and our connections that we've established, as Think Global Recruitment is almost 25 years old, and there is an awful lot of connections out there. They can come back within anything from 1 day to 14 days and tell us that they want to meet you for an interview. We then go into interview preparation mode. We supply some interview preparation notes, and then we will give you a practice interview. We then get to the offer time where you get an offer. Now, one thing that surprises a lot of people is that offers, when a company makes them, they usually want to hear within 24 to 48 hours whether you're accepting or not. Yeah, 24 to 48 hours. And that's one of the reasons we do some of these presentations, so you can be really knowledgeable. And during the whole interview process, we will answer every question you have. So by the time you get to offer stage, you'll know whether you're going to accept it, and there's nothing to worry about, nothing to think about. You've already got the information you need. Then the visa process starts, and that can take anything from 1 month to 3 months. On average at the moment, probably we're looking at around 8 to 12 weeks for most visas. If you've already got one, fantastic. You could be starting within a month's time, depending on your notice period. And then you move abroad and you start your new life. It's so exciting. We will stay in touch with you throughout this process, pre and post start date, to make sure everything goes smoothly. Okay, enough about all of that. I know you're all here to hear about opportunities in Europe and living and working in Europe. So I am going to hand you over now to my lovely colleague, Maxine. Over to you, Maxine.
Hi guys, yes, I'm Maxine and I'm based out of sunny Cape Town, although not so sunny today. I have over 9 years of recruitment experience, typically in the finance and accountancy space, and it's been my absolute pleasure to help professionals move from all over the world to some exciting new destinations. Currently, I cover risk, internal audit, IT audit, cyber tax, and corporate finance. I know, quite a mouthful, but I love it. Now, today, let's start our journey in the beautiful Netherlands. So think bulb fields, windmills, and picturesque canals teeming with life. The Netherlands is actually often ranked as one of the happiest countries in the world, with a stable and growing economy and a strong focus on technology, finance, and trade. Its strategic location in Europe makes it a key hub for international businesses. From famous cities like Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Utrecht, then of course The Hague, the political center, also known for its stunning beaches. You'll find the locals warm and friendly, making it easy for expats to settle in. Plus, there's a huge multicultural community, which makes it even more exciting. Life here is vibrant, with numerous cultural events, outdoor activities, and a strong focus on work-life balance. The Dutch are known for their cycling culture. And if you're a fan of cheese, well, you'll never run out of options here with all of the local markets and variety available. Sustainability reporting and ESG initiatives are booming here, so accountants focusing on green finance and sustainability will be in demand for a long time. And if you're one of these accountants, you know who to reach out to, because I cover ESG too. Then digital transformation is accelerating, with expertise in blockchain, AI, and cybersecurity being particularly valuable. You don't always need to speak Dutch to be considered. Fluent English is perfect, especially for roles like external audit or even ESG. We are seeing a rise for Afrikaans speakers, so that would be great news for my fellow South African speaking Afrikaans. However, for risk, IT audit, and cyber, typically Dutch would be a requirement. Currently, we're recruiting for audit seniors right through to senior manager level. Again, English only is perfect. However, the firms here tend to require large client exposure. So experience gained with a Big Four firm in an established economy like South Africa, Ireland, Canada, UK usually suffices. Plus, if you have US GAAP experience, that is a double bonus in your favor. Audit seniors can expect a salary for around 47,000 and rent, that's in euro, and then rent ranges from around 900 euro upwards, depending on the area. But flat share is a great option to cut down costs. Next up, we're moving to Belgium, a country renowned for its rich culture and beautiful architecture. Belgium is an essential financial and political hub, with Brussels being home to many international organizations. Similar to the Netherlands, ESG reporting and sustainability finance initiatives are growing. Then expertise in data analytics and automation is increasingly sought after. Living in Belgium means you'll be surrounded by a rich history and exceptional cuisine. I mean, waffles and chocolate are basically food groups here. So also Belgium boasts with some of the best festivals, music festivals you can ever imagine. You'll hear both French and Dutch in the office and in the streets. However, there are many English-speaking opportunities available. Typical opportunities include external audit, internal audit, and IT audit, as well as cybersecurity. Then there's been a strong demand for professionals specifically with diverse portfolios. And then some interesting advisory roles involving like gap conversions have become very, very popular too. An audit senior can expect a salary of around 42,000 euro, and rent in Brussels can range anything from 550 to 900 euro and up, also depending on the neighborhood. Now, let's move over to Switzerland. Home to breathtaking landscapes, world-class chocolate again, and one of the world's strongest economies. Zurich is a global financial hub with a superior quality of life, while Geneva attracts professionals from all over with its international organizations and stunning lakeside views. Life in Switzerland is full of great adventures like skiing and hiking, mountain biking, and excellent, highly developed healthcare and transport system. Plus a super multicultural environment again. The fintech, blockchain, and insurance sectors are thriving, especially in Zurich. And opportunities typically available can be anything from external audit, internal audit, actuarial, and also accounting advisory roles. Many opportunities will be for English speakers, but knowing, of course, French or even German will be an added advantage. However, securing an opportunity in Switzerland, you will typically require you to have an EU passport. Salaries for an audit senior could be around or is around from 90,000 Swiss franc and up, but the rent is super high, as is the cost of living. So you can expect to pay anything from 2,500 Swiss franc for a one-bedroom apartment in Zurich. Finally, we arrive in Germany, Europe's economic powerhouse, famous for castles, cathedrals, mountains, forests, food, and beer, all kinds of them. Germany offers an excellent and also exciting infrastructure, a strong healthcare system, and a high quality of life. Major cities like Berlin, Frankfurt, and Munich are thriving business hubs. Germany has the largest economy in Europe and is a powerhouse in manufacturing and export, also a leader in sectors like automotive, engineering, green energy, and financial services has actually grown, especially post-Brexit. So if you have experience working with any of these clients, typically this could be your ticket in. Although German language skills has been a typical requirement coming up more and more. There's a strong demand for professionals in external audit, internal audit, IT, cyber, and corporate finance. And an audit senior in Germany can expect a salary of around 54,000 euro, with rent averaging 1,200 euro in Berlin and Frankfurt coming slightly lower at from around 900 euro. And that's it from me. I hope you found this side of our tour insightful. I'll now pass over to Alicia. Sorry, Leash, I think you're on mute still.
Sorry about that. I was just saying, thanks, Maxine. I'll try to keep up with your enthusiasm. But welcome everyone to today's webinar. My name is Alicia and I work remotely from Pretoria in South Africa. I have over a decade's experience supporting and facilitating over 500 external audit professionals to move from anywhere to everywhere across the globe. So the first country I would like to tell you about today is France. France is a great option if you have French language proficiency and would like to utilize your French language skills. We know France to be famous for fashion, the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, Notre Dame, French champagne, and of course croissants. But living in France offers so much more. The two regions of France, North and South France, are heavily influenced by the surrounding countries. Many aspects of northern France are indicative of Germany and Belgium, such as the architecture, cuisine, and traditions, and has a cooler climate with more rainfall. Whereas the south of France feels more Mediterranean, sharing many features like climate, lifestyle, and cuisine with Spain and Italy, and has a warmer climate, more sunshine, and a more relaxed lifestyle. The south of France has become an increasingly popular destination for thousands of expats. Let's face it, it's hard not to fall in love with cities like Nice, Marseille, and Monaco. The biggest industries for audit in France includes financial services, including banks and insurance companies, retail and luxury goods, real estate, and automotive, to name a few. Typical roles available have been in external and internal audit, risk, and corporate finance. To be eligible for these, you would require fluent French language proficiency. An average salary for an audit senior in Paris would typically start at around 48,000 euros per year, and a manager can expect anything from around 64,000 euros per annum and upwards. Apartments in central Paris generally start at around 1,000 euros per month and can go up to about 2,000 euros, depending on factors such as size, condition, and proximity to amenities. Apartments in Nice will cost around 900 and up euros per month. We have a great network of firms in France who is always looking for strong French-speaking audit seniors and audit managers. So feel free to reach out to us if you are French proficient. Next up, we move to Malta. For those seeking more of an exotic European adventure, Malta is a great option. Nestled in the middle of the Mediterranean, steeped in history and blessed with a vibrant, unique mix of cultures. Just off the coast of Italy, Malta offers a change from the conventional city living. The financial services, gaming, shipping, and real estate industries are some of the thriving sectors in Malta that contribute to the country's economic growth and development. Malta's strategic location in the heart of the Mediterranean makes it an ideal hub for business and travel. It offers easy access to other European countries as well as Africa and the Middle East. Maltese cuisine is a delightful fusion of Mediterranean flavors with an influence from Italy, Northern Africa, and the Middle East. To me, that sounds like the perfect combo. Malta has beautiful beaches with crystal clear water and rocky cliffs. Malta also has about 300 days of sunshine a year, and it's really a popular destination for snorkeling and diving. Malta really does offer the perfect balance between work and life. Typical roles in Malta include external, internal, and IT audit roles, and ESG have also become quite popular in Malta. The salaries are lower than most Western European countries, but so is the cost of living. The salaries range from around 32,000 and up on audit senior level, depending on your experience, and the average cost of rent is around 800 euros, with more affordable furnished rooms at a lower cost. Accommodation in general, regardless of the country, will depend on factors such as size, location, and proximity to amenities and public transport. So I guess that's important to keep in mind. Next up, we have Luxembourg, which is one of my favorite European countries. This small European country was ranked the second richest country in the world for several years. As a result, Luxembourg makes one of the best countries to move to, especially considering that more than 40% of the population is expats. Luxembourg is one of the world's leading financial centers, known for its robust banking and finance sector. The country offers a high standard of living, multicultural society, rich history, great opportunities for business, technology, and innovation, and it has some of the highest salaries in Europe as well. This is an excellent option for accountants. Here you have the opportunity to enhance your financial services experience and be based in the heart of Europe. In less than 2 hours, you can be in the French wine district or enjoying beer and chocolates in Belgium or skiing the Swiss slopes. In Luxembourg, you typically get paid 13 months' salaries in a year, half a month extra in summer and half a month extra at Christmas time. You can also get lots of benefits that are tax-free, including most companies provide you with lunch on vouchers, which can be used at restaurants, but other shops and places also accept them. You can either choose to live in Luxembourg, slightly more pricey at around 1,600 euros per month, or you can go for cheaper accommodation in either France or Germany and still only be about 15 minutes away from work. The country speaks French and half speaks German. So the common language they use in business is English. Some firms are happy to consider English-only speakers, whereas some other firms prefer that you are proficient in either French or German as well. And that just helps to build rapport with clients as well as colleagues. Whichever way, a great place to learn a second language. The financial services sector, in particular banking, funds, and real estate, are very big in Luxembourg due to the favorable business tax regime. The average salary for an audit senior is around 55,000 euros and up, and managers can expect to earn from around 70,000 euros per annum. Opportunities in Luxembourg include audit, transaction services, technical accounting, and fund accounting. And we are always looking for German speakers who are interested in a move to Luxembourg. Here we can just have a look at Mary's story. Mary made the move from Ireland to Luxembourg and absolutely loves being in the heart of Europe. Last but definitely not least, we are moving on to Ireland. So Ireland is known as the Emerald Isle, and it's known for its beautiful landscapes like the cliffs of Moher, traditional Irish music, St. Patrick's Day, and of course, Irish whiskey and Guinness beer. Ireland has been recognized as one of the fastest growing economies in Europe in recent years. The foreign direct investment, or FDI, strong technology sector, robust export market, skilled workforce, and recovery post-COVID are some of the factors that have contributed to this rapid growth. Living in Ireland offers many benefits, including the strong economy and job opportunities, English speaking, work-life balance, friendly and welcoming people, and a high quality of life with regards to healthcare, education, and safety. Ireland is also increasingly focused on sustainability and environmental protection with strong government support for green energy, public transport initiatives, and eco-friendly policies. The biggest industries for audit in Ireland include financial services. This will be banking, insurance, as well as asset management. Ireland is actually one of the largest fund administration centers in the world. Another massive industry includes technology and IT. Ireland is often referred to as the Silicon Valley of Europe, with global tech giants like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, all of them operating its European headquarters out of Ireland. The pharmaceutical and life science, aircraft leasing, aerospace, as well as media and telecom sectors are also significant in Ireland. Some of you might not know, but the Republic of Ireland, with cities including Dublin, Limerick, Galway, Cork, is an independent country and part of the European Union using the euro, while Northern Ireland, with Belfast being the largest city, is part of the UK using the British pound and follows UK laws. The cost of living in the Republic of Ireland can be high, especially in Dublin, with housing being the biggest expense. Rent in Dublin can vary between 1,400 to about 2,000 euros per month for a one-bedroom apartment, depending on whether you prefer to live in city centre or outside city centre. The cost in the regions such as Cork, Limerick, Galway is much lower, with one-bedroom apartments ranging from around 800 euros to 1,300 euros per month. Public transport in cities is efficient and affordable, and one doesn't require to own a car. Typical roles we recruit for include external, internal IT audit, financial accounting, corporate finance, as well as ESG roles. The average salary for an audit senior would start from around 48,000 euros per annum, and a manager can expect a salary of around 64,000 euros per annum. Salaries in the regions are slightly lower, but the cost of living is significantly lower compared to Dublin. Whether you are looking for the hustle and bustle of the city life or the tranquility of country life, Ireland has something for everyone. Let's look at Lewis' story, who had made the move from Brazil to Ireland and loves the European lifestyle. That's all from me today. Thanks for joining us, and I look forward to speaking to many of you to make your dream a reality.
Thank you, Alicia and Maxine. Hopefully you got a lot of information from that, but now we've got the Q&As, and I can see we've already got over 20 questions come through. We're going to take turns at answering some of these for you and fire through as many as we possibly can. If we don't get to the end, we will get back to you individually on the ones that we don't get to answer. Somebody's asked if there are many roles for ACMA, CGMA. I'm guessing that is sorry, not guessing. That's the qualifications. Absolutely. You will find that the qualifications most recognised globally are the CA, the CPA, and the ACCA. But management accountants are also recognised. So it depends on your experience more than just your qualification. It's the whole thing. It's what have you been doing, what do you want to be doing, and the relevance to that. So drop us your CV at any point. Nicole, our assistant, will be putting into chat the address of mail@thinkgr.com that you can send your CV through. And we are more than happy to, with any of you, come back to you and let you know if we can help you and meet with you if so. Okay, and I'm going to get the next one in. Is there an age restriction for relocating? No, there's not an age restriction for relocating, although there are a couple of things that do come up sometimes. So one is there's no age restriction on employer-sponsored visas, so you're absolutely fine on that side of things. In any location that I'm aware of. Then with countries like the Netherlands that we talked about today, they have a minimum salary for certain age groups the government imposes. And so if you are at a lower level role, typically say the audit senior level, but you're over the age of 30, quite often companies can't meet the salary requirement that they have to pay you by law because it's actually done by age rather than by level of role that you're in. Hopefully that makes sense, but we're happy to explain it to you individually as well. But don't worry if you're a manager upwards and you can achieve manager rating, it's not a problem. You can move there at any age. Okay, I'm going to hand over to Maxine to do the next couple.
Alrighty, I've been also checking these questions just come up. A question here says, what is the process for getting hired? I think we did cover this, but the question continues to say, is it a permanent or contract, or is permanent or contract, and can you relocate with your spouse? Well, permanent or contract will depend on the location. Typically, you will receive a permanent role. Locations like Bermuda often do offer you a 2-year contract role, but that's just because of the longevity of the work permit. So wherever you go, once your work permit or your work visa lapses or expires, the company just reapplies for another one. And then after, for example, like if you go to the UK, initially your visa will be for 3 to 5 years. The typical one that we're seeing is 3 years. After 5 years, you can then apply for your indefinite leave to remain. So it will definitely depend on which location, but there is an option for you to move permanently. And yes, you can, of course, move with your spouse. Some firms do help get your spouse over in terms of also assisting with visa costs, but don't expect all of them to do it. It's a case-by-case type of situation. Then we have any openings that require CPA Canada, Hong Kong, CISC, so with 15 years of experience. That sounds like my type of candidate with socks. Yes, we are always looking for professionals with this type of experience. So please reach out to me. I would love to help you look at your profile and then discuss all of your options. Over to you, Alicia.
Thanks, Maxine. So the next question I have here is currently in audit but want to move across to consulting. That might be a bit difficult. The easiest to get your foot in the door is to move in audit, especially if you are currently moving in audit. Often consulting roles would not sponsor someone who comes from an audit environment, and they would often require local market experience. So we would typically recommend someone who's currently working in audit to make the move in audit, work for 12 to 24 months in that market to gain experience, and then move out into consulting or advisory. Next question I have, are there any opportunities for part qualified chartered accountants? I think Abigail have mentioned this in the beginning, but about 99% of our opportunities would require one to be fully qualified, mainly because of visa requirements. As obviously once you are a chartered accountant, you qualify as having a critical skill, which is often required to sponsor an international candidate. Over to you, Abigail.
Okay, so would there be opportunities for you if you were writing APC in December 2024 and waiting for the results for February next year? There are. We are actually getting interviews for people in that stage of the process. Not every firm will look at you in advance, though. Obviously, you won't be able to start until you've actually got your results out there. And because of timings, it depends where in the world you want to go, because of busy seasons, they may be actually offering you jobs for starting in September next year, as opposed to your February, March next year when your results come out. But we're very happy to talk to people who are part qualified. We'll look at each of you on a case by case. If you had first time passes to date, that helps as well. There's a lot of things that we'll take into consideration, but we'll work an action plan out with you. So we'll be honest and open with you and tell you exactly what we think is going to work. And we will stay in touch with you right up until the time when we should be getting proactive. Okay. Do we recruit from the mid-tier firms or just Big Four? No, absolutely. Some companies prefer people from mid-tier firms. Some people do prefer Big Four, and many and most would look at the whole range. It's the type of experience you've got, where you've got it, the market you've been in. So if you're in a mid-tier firm, it depends where you're going and what they'll be looking for. Now, typically, if your aspirations are go to, big centers like Frankfurt or London or the biggest cities in each of the countries, then you might have to have bigger experience in your clients. Whereas if you look at regional roles within these countries, they have smaller clients in those, and then they'll marry up your experience with that. Okay, back to you, Maxine.
Cool. This question reads, any opportunities in consulting out of audit? Again, we will need to see your profile, and also depending on where you are. Of course, there are opportunities outside of audit, and like I also look after industry again, but it will depend on your background and your passport and everything like that. So please do reach out. Then, are there any opportunities for non-EU applicants with sponsorship? So sorry, I don't know if it's my baby brain. I'm not sure if you have an EU, like coming from the EU or talking about non-EU locations. However, either or, yes, 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 we've got opportunities available in various locations across the world. So this is also why we want to meet with you to discuss your aspirations and also all of your options. And if you're talking about you being an EU passport holder, definitely a lot of opportunities for you too. And then, next one's yours, Alicia.
Thanks, Maxine. So the next one here is France open to hire CASAs? So that's Chartered Accountants from South Africa. Yes, definitely. But I think I have mentioned in the webinar earlier that you need to have full French proficiency, as that would typically be a requirement for most roles. Next question I have asks about childcare in the Netherlands. So childcare in the Netherlands is well organized and of high quality, definitely making it an attractive option for expat families. While the costs can be high, financial support from the government in the form of subsidies, make it more affordable. However, I would definitely recommend early planning is essential due to long waiting lists at specific and popular facilities, particularly in the large cities. So yes, definitely great childcare options available in the Netherlands.
Great. Okay, thank you very much, Alicia. Just firing through a few more. We are getting up to our time now that we allocated for today's webinar, but if people want to hang around, we're happy to stay here for another 5 minutes or so to make sure we get your questions answered. And we can do that. So if you want to relocate with a family, will it be considered as a disadvantage? It's not, it depends. It's not a disadvantage, but in some locations it's harder to get jobs for partners. They have to think about schooling. Bermuda can only take 2 children with a family because there's not enough schools. So there's other considerations that might come into it. But if you've got amazing experience, then that's what they're going to be looking for at the end of the day. We need to talk to you on a case-by-case basis and just find out a bit more about that family and what your partner wants to do for a living, etc. So current trends in IT audit, and do certificates really help? Maxine, I'll let you do that one.
So yes, your certificates really do help. I know you get like a CISA and a CISM and then the CPPM or all of those certifications. But the typical one that will get you into the door is definitely your CISA. Trend right now is most opportunities that I've been seeing is with the financial services focus, so specifically insurance, or the very nice portfolio of financial services clients. PCOB has been on the rise. SOX has been key, as well as then, speaking of Europe specifically, we are looking for IT auditors with strong SAP exposure. So please reach out. I would love to speak to you. I'm always looking for somebody with all of the certificates. And then let's see here. Have you ever worked with relocation for people outside of big economies or big economic countries, i.e. Mozambique? What are the prospects of one that has Big Four experience? Well, all of us here at Think Global Recruitment have placed people from all over Africa. I'm sure that we've placed a couple of Mozambicans. So yes, your experience is still highly regarded, regardless of where you are. We just typically the firms would ask for an established economy experience. It will depend on what clients you're looking after and also additional skills. So, of course, we are able to assist.
Thanks, Maxine.
Okay.
I have a next question here. If I complete my exams and qualify this month, relocating, no need to qualify years before relocating. However, you will require a minimum of 3 years relevant experience plus your professional qualification. So depending on your experience, you will definitely qualify. And then any CV tips and how we can reach out to you. I'm sure my colleague Nicole has shared the email address to reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to share CV tips. And I think Abigail has also mentioned previously that we do tailor your CV according to the different applications, as we do know exactly what our clients are looking for and what needs to be on the CVs.
Brilliant. Okay, there are so we've got one here. Can Global Group help with sponsorship? We help you go through the sponsorship. The companies provide the sponsorship. We don't that employ you. But we know roughly what's involved, and we'll give you guidance throughout that process. What we would say is if you're thinking seriously about making an international move, if in most locations we're finding the biggest holdup for visas is getting your police certificate, which is an authority from the police to say you don't have a criminal record. If you want to start applying for one of those early doors, then it will make your application move a lot faster and maybe even make you more desirable to some employers that want a quick start date. You just go to the police station and the police your police office and ask to get one of these. There are some extra tips for people in South Africa, so please reach out to one of us and we'll tell you the best process for doing that. But we do recommend getting it early doors in that process. And I think and they're also going on to ask about banking opportunities in Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. We second to the CA firms, we get opportunities in the financial services sector. If you think about it, the place that needs the most accountants internationally is going to be the CA firms, and that's where they're going to hire internationally. And then we see the financial services hire and some industry companies. It does vary again on experience, and please do send your CV into that mail at thinkgr.com area. Okay. I think just, is there anything else, Maxine, any pressing ones that you think we should answer now that we haven't already answered? Some of these questions are being repeated, I think.
I see. Yeah, in the chat, I'm just quickly going through a couple of them, but yeah, some of the questions are that we have covered. So happy to everybody or anyone to reach out to us if we can just make it a little bit more clearer. But